In July of this year, 2020, we will celebrate 32 years of marriage. In those years, we have learned some valuable lessons that have helped to keep us together through the good times and the bad. One of those lessons is that marriage is not a status symbol. Some people see marriage as something that indicates that they have reached a certain standing in society. So, in their eagerness to be seen as having arrived or having achieved a certain status in life, they enter into marriage and eventually find out that they're not compatible and that they have gotten married for the wrong reasons. Closely related to this is the misdirected priority people place between the wedding and a marriage. When some couples begin to talk about their wedding plans, it is important to remind them that the wedding is a day, but marriage is a lifetime. For that reason, couples who are reluctant to do any premarital counseling or are unwilling to invest time and money for their preparation often need to be encouraged to be more willing to invest in preparing for the marriage than they invest in a wedding day. Frequently, this obsession with the wedding day is related to a fantasy that people have about a fairy tale wedding they have dreamt about from their childhood years. They often make a decision to get married without taking a hard look at whether or not they're truly compatible and have the requisite skills such as communication, conflict resolution, money management, and sexual intimacy to maintain a lifelong union. Part of the fantasy that some people have about marriage is that things will just fall naturally into place if they get married to their soulmate or to the person who they believe God has picked out for them. When someone starts a marriage with this myth, he or she sometimes doesn't fully realize that hard work is required to keep marriages going. Alternately, he or she may become shattered and devastated when he or she encounters challenges and conflicts with his or her spouse and come to realize that things are not easily falling into place. An example of this can be seen when it comes on to domestic responsibilities. Couples think that each person will just figure out what needs to be done and do it. But more often than not, one needs a clear plan that might be reflected in something like a duty roster to make it clear who is doing what and when. If we don't make these issues clear and concrete, we run the risk of persons feeling as if they're being used or taken for granted. One thing that has kept us married is a willingness to be real with each other about how we feel and what are our expectations of each other. Couples, if they are to have a marriage that lasts, must be able to be open and frank with each other, and yet gentle enough to be caring and respectful in the way they disagree with each other. Marriages don't just come together on their own. It takes commitment and hard work. In our married life, we have consciously set aside some time each year to review matters such as our relationship, our finances, our major purchases, our vacation plans, as well as to make projections about the future. These discussions help keep our marriage real, genuine, and vibrant. We love each other and we want to grow old together, but we realize that no marriage is ever perfect. It is not some fantasy bliss that is taking place in Never Never Land. For sure, it is not a status symbol. By God's grace, we are striving to make our marriage real and honorable to Him. Dave and Maureen Hazle. Marriage is honorable.